I'm here with John Haggerty, pipe major at the Rotary Pipe Band. John, thank you for joining me today.
Most welcome.
So in today's Robbie Burns dinner, you did something that was very interesting. You delivered something called the Ode to the Haggis.
The address to the Haggis, yes.
Right. So can you tell us a little bit about what that is?
Well, it's a fun little poem that celebrates the haggis, which is, you know, a glorified meatloaf. So nothing much there, but I think it really adds to sort of the ceremony of Robbie Burns Day. And when you can get up and say a little poem like that and entertain everybody over really, you know, a little piece of meat, I think that's pretty good.
Definitely. So can you do a quick little recitation of the poem for us?
Absolutely I can. Fair fa your honest sonsy face, great chieftain o' the puddin' race, upon the ma you tak your place, painch, tribe or therm, well worthy are your grace as long's my arm. The groaning trencher there you fill, your hurdies like yon distant hill, your pin would help to mend a mill in time of need, while through your pores the dews distill like amber bead. His knife, see rustic labor dich, cutting you up with ready a slick, trenching your gushing entrails brick like ony ditch. And then, what a glorious sicht, warm, reeking, rich. Then horn for horn they stretch, they strive, they'll take the hindmost as on they drive till their well-swelled kites belive are bent like drums. And then old guideman is like to arrive, be thanked, hums. Now is there that o'er his French ragout, or olio that would stow a sou, or fricassee would make her spew with perfect sconner, would look with sneer and scornful view on such a dinner? Poor Dill, see him o'er his trash, as feckless as the withered rash, his spindle shank a geed whiplash, his neve a knit, through flood or bloody field to dash. Oh, how unfit! But mark the rustic haggis fed, the trembling earth resounds his tread, clapping his wally neve a blade, he'll make it whistle, and arms and legs and heads he'll snade like tops of thistle. Now ye powers that make mankind your care, and dish her out her bill of fare, well, Scotland wants nae stinking ware that jumps in luggies, but if ye wish her grateful prayer, gie her a haggis.
Now that is something. For those of people who don't understand Old Scots, what were you saying there?
Oh boy. So you start out by addressing the haggis and saying how beautiful it is, and then the groaning trencher, the table that's buckling under the weight of this haggis, and then you're comparing it to a distant hill, a huge object, and then the steam and the dew, the oils coming out of it like amber bead. Then you bring out your knife and you observe the knife, you respect the knife, and then you cut the haggis up with as much ceremony as you can, imagining it's an animal that you're disemboweling perhaps. And then you admire that, and you admire the scent of it. Then the poem goes into some negativity in talking of, say, people who enjoy other types of food, French ragout, olio, fricassee, asking if these people would look at haggis and say, oh, this yuck, I could never eat that, as some people do. It goes on to speak of these people. Well, you know, these people are weaklings. They don't eat this hearty food. They eat a diet food. They eat a food that makes one weak. Now, a person who's haggis fed, they're fit. They're prepared to be in Scotland, or to be in northern Canada for that matter, and they're a burly, strong person, and they can fight and they can do things. And then finally, it goes into the speaking to the higher powers, to God, and I suppose it's a grace of sorts anyway. And it asks that we are given haggis, that, you know, we Scottish don't want any of these other things that jump in luggies, that slosh around in pots, or that are thin like the other things we spoke of. If you want Scotland to be grateful, if you want the Scottish to be grateful, give us a haggis, and we will be. So, and that's the sum total of the poem in English.
Right.
Sounds better in Scots, you must admit. You know.
Definitely. No, it's. I mean, you were very animated up there. You know, swinging that knife around at dinner there. So it's a sight to behold.
Well, thank you very much.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for today. John, thanks again for joining us.
It's not a problem. My pleasure.